Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can find the slope given 2 points. And the 2 points that I'm going to be using are -2, -1, and 4 and 5. So let's begin. Where do you begin? Well, like all things, you got to start with an equation. You got to know what is the equation for finding the slope. And the answer to that is, it is m. And in case you didn't know, slope is represented as m. The origin of this is kind of controversial. I was always taught that it means monter, which is to go up in French, but you don't need to know that, just know slope means m. And m is equal to change in y all over change in x. Now, how do you get all these numbers? What do they mean? Well, a change in y basically means y minus y. Now, which y's? Well, there's 2 here, so you do y2 minus y1, and the x's are going to be the same thing, x2 minus x1. And there you go, that is the equation for slope. Okay, so now we have the equation and we have our points. It's time to plug them in. So let's rewrite the equation, m equals, and now let's start putting them in. So how do you know where the x1s, x2s, y2s, where are they all coming from? Well, essentially you just start with the first bracket and go x1, y1. Then here you can probably guess x2, y2. Now each of these numbers have a correlating letter with them. Now we are able to plug them back into this equation. So the first thing we want to find is y2. Where is y2? Well, y2 is right here, 5, and it's going to be subtracted by y1. Head over there, y1 is -1, so we're going to put it just like that. Now let's head down to the x's. The x's are going to be x2 minus x1, so let's first find x2, which is 4, and that is subtracted by x1, which here is -2. Now we got to add them up and get our final equation. So 5 minus a -1. Well, this negative turns to a positive, so it's going to be 5 plus 1. And the same thing happens down here, where these 2 negatives are going to turn into a positive. Now you just got some simple addition here, and you find that the answer is going to be 6 over 6. So some of you guys might be wondering is, what happens if you flip them? The x2 swaps with the x1 and vice versa. So essentially, what if this guy became x2, this guy became y2, and opposite x1 and y1? Actually, you can do this. It doesn't matter. I mean, think about it. Everything else would just be then flipped. So you would have -1 minus 5 and -2 minus 4. This would give us -6 over -6, which is then equal to 1, much as 6 over 6 is equal to 1. Okay, so we found our slope. It's 6 over 6, which is equal to 1. Now, what does this mean? Well, you can think of it this way. Rise over run is what we know slope is. Slope is rise over run. So you're going to rise 6 and run 6. Now let's look at this on a graph. Alright, so let's check our work and see if this is really right, if we found the right slope. Well, here I plotted the 2 points on my absolutely beautifully drawn graph. I'm kidding. But here it is, -2, -1 right there, and 4, 5 right there. Now let's see if this is right. If this is right, we should be able to go up 6 and over 6 and end at the other point. So let's start right here. Let's do it in green so we can see what we're doing. Let's start right here and let's go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we end right here. Now we got to go over and run. We got to put our running shoes on and run over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And voila! We end at our second destination, which is 4 over 5. Now you would know that the line goes in between here. That's not a very well drawn line. But we know that the slope of this line is going to be 6 over 6, or just 1 over 1, or 1. So there we go. We now found our slope. It is 6 over 6, which is equal to 1, and we checked it with our graph over here, and you are done. That is how you find the slope given 2 points. I hope it helped. If anything confused you here, if you have any more questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below, or if there are any other videos pertaining to anything around math or anything around this subject, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I will be reading all of them and responding to you guys. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.